Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. Thank you very much indeed for joining this 7th session of 11 this week, happening for the UK Skills Partnership SkillsFest in conjunction with the Department for Business and Trade. My name is Jonathan Ledger, Skills and Professional Body Specialist at the Department for Business and Trade. And it's my real pleasure to have another group of brilliant speakers showcasing a diverse selection of skills and training from the UK and around the world. They're going to give you case studies, tools and tips and a bit of insights, a bit of everything for everybody here. Just a quick rundown. We'll do the presentations one after the other. There'll be a Q&A section at the end. So if you've got any questions, put them in the chat. Also, do put your contact details in the chat along with your LinkedIn, because opportunity here for a bit of networking with the speakers as well as each other. So do make sure you connect with people. And let me just introduce our speakers if I can. So we've got Daniel Nivern, Virtual Internships, and we've got Sue Wild from Skillology International, and we have Mike Potts from NCFE, Steve Beckworth from the Confederation for Tourism, Munir Mamujee, MBE from M2R Limited, and Mark Child from VTCT Skills. It's a real pleasure to have all of you on. We are not going to delay anymore, though. We are straight into virtual internships and Daniel Nivern. So, Daniel, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Appreciate the warm welcome, and thank you everybody as well for joining. It's great to have so many people here from around the world. So my name is Daniel Nivern. I am the founder and CEO of Virtual Internships, and our core mission is to make work experience a part of everybody's education, no matter what age you are, your background or your location. We want everybody to get vital work experience. And the problem that we are looking to solve as an organization is a global one, and it's around employability. We know that learning providers, whether that is a university, a government, an institution, a training provider, or otherwise, really need to support their learners in building career readiness skills so that they can be employable after their programming. But often they find it difficult to have the employer networks and connections and the infrastructure to help learners to get work experience. We know that learners really do need work experience to show their skills to employers, but sometimes find it hard to get that experience. And for companies around the world, they're often looking for individuals who can show career readiness skills that they have built through work experience and coaching. And in particular, these are some quotes that show this problem as well, especially in this new world of AI that we're entering. 40% of managers would rather use AI for tasks than hire a recent graduate. AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years. And 52% of graduates often find themselves underemployed a year after graduation. So this is leading to a career readiness gap, where learners need more than just a degree or theoretical training in order to get a job. They need real-world work experience that they can showcase to an employer. They need networks of employers to show, to have an application to and to get a job. They need career confidence in themselves. They need access to those opportunities. And increasingly, they need digital, remote, and AI skills in a job market that is going to be changing a lot over the next few years. So at Virtual Internships, we have built a solution around this. We've built a platform and a program that guarantees every learner a quality, skills-aligned internship that will boost their career outcomes, boost their employability, and prepare them for a job market that will be dominated by AI. As part of our programming, we make sure that every learner gets a placement. It doesn't matter what their background is, what subject they're studying, their network that they have, or their location. And 1 in 3 of the people who do our program get offered a future position with the company that they've done their internship at. We managed to do this by having 20,000 companies around the world who take our interns. This gives us 250,000 internship opportunities every year. These countries are around 190 countries worldwide, and 82% of those companies say they could only hire these interns by using virtual internships to support them. So we're really building a model that helps people anywhere to get access to work experience opportunities around the world. Alongside that, we offer comprehensive support for the learner at every stage. So they get an internship success manager. They have an internship coach who trains them along the way of how to succeed in their work experience. They have webinars and insights from industry leaders. They have a curriculum that we've built ourselves, all about career readiness, how to navigate work experience and how to use that for employability. They're part of a group discussion with other people on the program from around the world. And at the end of the program, they get a certificate and a report to show the skills development that they've gained. So how does it work? So a student or a learner will build their online profile like you would do in LinkedIn, and they would showcase the education that they've had, the skills that they have, the projects that they've done, and they will do a video introduction. They will then have an interview with a company that we match them with from around the world. It's really important that both sides do this interview and get the chance to say yes or no to the experience so that we align expectations on both sides. On average, every learner takes around 1.78 interviews to get placed with the company, normally within a period of 6 weeks. They then get a structured placement project plan that shows the company they'll be working for, the key projects they'll be doing, how that aligns to their skills and their studies and what they're trying to build, and also some of the remote work tools and digital skills and tools that they will be using in the internship program. This is a real life work experience program with a real company, a real supervisor, and real projects that they can build skills in and show to future employers. As part of the program, their supervisor is giving them feedback every week to show how they're performing and how they can improve. And they're giving feedback as well to their company to say what they've enjoyed, how they're progressing, and to understand the work that they are doing. At the end of the internship, they get a final coaching call of how to use this program to boost their employment opportunities. They get an end of program report that is just for them. They get a reference from the company. They're part of our alumni group and our LinkedIn groups, and they get continued career advice and support from us at Virtual Internships. We see skills development across various different strands for career management skills, critical thinking, leadership, teamwork, communication, cultural fluency, professionalism, and technology. These are all the skills that are necessary and important for career readiness and for boosting employability. And we find in terms of outcomes that 88% of students and learners on the program feel that this was a quality learning experience. 89% feel that this has helped them to understand workplace challenges and how they will navigate those in the future. 91% feel they gained excellent value out of the program. As I mentioned before, 1 in 3 of our learners actually get offered a full-time employment opportunity with the company. And this could be with a company in their location, or it could be a company overseas. So we're creating cross-border employability through the program. 89% receive a positive employment reference from their supervisor, which allows them to use that in the future for getting a next job if they want to go for another company. And 84% have boosted their confidence in getting full-time employment in the future. Now, I want to show a few ways that we've worked together with other partners or governments or other institutions around the world to run this program. So this is an example of a university in the UK, the University of Hertfordshire. We did a tendering process with them, and they are now giving this internship opportunity to 10,000 learners per year. This is all of their postgraduate students. The majority of those students are international students coming from around the world, many from China, from Africa, from the Middle East, Asia, South America. And we are supporting those students with internships across various different sectors. Most popular are business, computer science and IT, marketing, law, and engineering. This is an example of a program that we run with Illinois Institute of Technology in America, where they're sending 1,000 of their learners to do the internship program with virtual internships. And these are mainly computer science and IT students. They feel that this partnership has helped them to integrate virtual work experiences into their students' academic journey and helping them thrive in a global workforce. And 40% of their students have been able to go on and get full-time employment with their host companies. This is Botho University, a university in Botswana. We've been working with them for a few years now to place their students into work experience programs. Their Deputy Vice Chancellor of Technology and Employability said, with virtual internships, we've finally cracked the solution to placing our students globally despite local labour market challenges and permit restrictions. So again, another great way of helping students from Botswana to get international work experience. And 50% of those learners have gone on to get opportunities with the companies that they've interned at. And finally, this is a program that we've run with the Saudi Digital Academy in Saudi Arabia, where, again, this was 52 different strands of students working across different areas of computer science, digital and technology. And we helped 3,550 of their students to get 12-week remote internship opportunities with companies around the world. And these learners came from different universities, different training providers across 100 different majors. One of their students said, my confidence in gaining employment has increased because I have first-hand work experience now, and virtual internships helped me to get exposed to a different culture, and it showed me the diversity of the world. So alongside the technical skills, career readiness skills that they'll be learning in the program, many of these learners are also getting cultural skills, international skills, and learning how to work with people from other regions. So we would love to work together and look at building a vision for a partnership together in helping thousands of students or learners every year to get workplace experience. We partner, as I said, with organizations around the world. These can be training providers like Kaplan is one of our partners. It can be universities from around the world like Botho in Botswana or University of Southern California in America. And we also work with governments around the world from Saudi Arabia, Canada, and the British Council as well. I should be clear that our programs are for any learner from any age or background. We have learners from as young as 18 all the way up to 65, including adult learners who are reskilling as they pivot in the workplace. I would be more than happy to speak to anybody. The company name is Virtual Internships. That makes our website very easy. It's virtualinternships.com. My name is dan@virtualinternships.com for my email address. And we would love to work with anybody offering training or knowledge to learners to help them convert that knowledge into practical work experience in a global setting. So thank you very much for listening, and happy to answer any questions later on in the Q&A.
Daniel, thank you so much indeed. I hadn't actually heard so much detail as you've given today about virtual internships. So really, really interesting and great major companies that you're working with, and you're doing it across multiple countries. I just wanted to ask one thing though. Do you work with college partners as well? So I know you mentioned Kaplan as a training provider, but is it kind of any type of training provider, any institution, any company, small, medium, large, doesn't matter?
Thank you for asking that question, Jonathan. We work with any training provider. Kaplan is one of our biggest partners. We work, for example, with eCareers out of the UK, who are offering great courses for learners who are looking to boost their employability, maybe change their job, and they're learning with that provider. And then we offer the practical experience for them. So any provider, great or small, we're very welcome. We want more people to get this experience, and we're happy. And we always work in partnership with institutions and organizations.
You're like Martini internships, aren't you? Any time, any place, anywhere, right? Any type.
I'm going to coin that phrase and trademark it. That's great. I appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much indeed. Really great to have you on board, and we look forward to some questions a bit later on. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Now moving on, we've got Sue Wild, who's from Skillology International. Lovely to have you here, Sue. This is your first time with us on Skills Fest, so really great to see you here and looking forward to talking to you about the scope of the work that you cover both in the UK and in an international setting.
So I'd love to talk to you about the power of soft skills in the workplace as a means of unlocking personal and professional success. In a research study conducted by Harvard University in conjunction with Stanford, this question was answered. The world of work has changed. Automation, remote teams, and complex human dynamics means that the skills that matter most aren't always taught at university. Yes, technical knowledge is vital, but the real edge comes from emotional intelligence, or EQ. Emotional intelligence is one of today's most in-demand career skills. It helps you speak with impact, lead with empathy, and move forward with purpose. So here's a question. Can you take feedback without getting defensive? In that moment when a review shifts tone, how you respond says more about you than you realize. With emotional intelligence, you hear the message, not just the sting. You respond thoughtfully, you show growth, even under pressure. The concept gained traction through the work of Daniel Goleman, the psychologist who identified 5 core components: self-awareness, recognizing your own emotional states and their impact; self-regulation, controlling disruptive emotions and impulses; motivation, using emotional factors to achieve goals and remain resilient; empathy, understanding the emotions and perspectives of others; and social skills, managing relationships and building networks effectively. These capabilities are not fixed traits, but can be learned and developed using the Skillology Reform Emotional Intelligence course. The course consists of an introduction to emotional intelligence and 6 tutorials. Inspired by the work of US educational theorist David Kolb, our blended learning process follows 4 powerful stages: assessment, learning, application, and review. It all starts with a baseline assessment, helping to uncover learning needs and measures each learner's starting point in the skills that matter most. Every tutorial turns learning into action, with clear steps to apply new knowledge right away. Everything is covered: a navigation tool to revisit specific pages, marker tool to highlight important points, and a glossary of terms explained, key points, skill overview for a quick recap, and the implementation guide turning the learning into action. Skillology Reform content is based on original research, ensuring consistency across all courses. Each course is part of a skills cluster where complementary abilities and skills overlap to further strengthen the development of individuals and teams. We began this exploration of soft skills focusing on emotional intelligence. However, there are a raft of other essential skills required to succeed in the workplace. If we look at the recent report from the World Economic Forum, it's no surprise that these skills were identified as essential for 2030 readiness. These skills reflect the important role of technical proficiency, strong interpersonal abilities, emotional intelligence, and a commitment to continuous learning. There's an expectation that workers must balance hard and soft skills to thrive in today's work environment. These Skillology courses address the skills in demand as identified by the World's Forum. In the left-hand column are identified skills. The table shows the relevant course from Skillology Perform, which addresses those needs. The course title is underlined, and that's the direct fit to the skill. The other titles are from the related course cluster. These courses include complementary abilities and skills that overlap to further strengthen the development of individuals and teams. Common themes appear from the top competencies that Talentgy identified in 2024. Communication skills, about sharing information clearly, whether through words, writing, or body language. Great communicators don't just speak. They listen, they adapt their style to the audience and connect with empathy. With strong communication skills, people can express ideas, build relationships, and collaborate more effectively. Problem-solving skills are about spotting challenges, analysing them, and finding the best way forward. It means recognising issues, collecting the right information, weighing up options, and putting effective solutions into action. Great problem solvers think creatively, make smart decisions, and adapt quickly. Skills that are vital for success at work and in life. Teamwork means people coming together, combining their strengths to achieve shared goals. It's built on communication, trust, and cooperation. When teamwork is strong, productivity rises, creativity flourishes, and problems are solved more effectively. Cognitive thinking is how we use our minds to learn and make sense of the world through thought, experience, and our senses. It covers skills like reasoning, problem solving, memory, perception, and critical thinking. Strong cognitive skills help people process information, analyze situations, and make smarter decisions. And finally, adaptability. It's about how well you adjust when things change. It means staying flexible, open-minded, and resilient, whether at work, in life, or in new situations. Adaptable people learn new skills quickly, embrace change, and handle uncertainty with a positive outlook. As before, these Skillology courses address the competencies identified by Talentgy's report. The left-hand column being the skills identified, exactly and matched to our Skillology courses as before. Forbes Human Resource Council spotlighted the skills that will define workplace in the future. Out of the 19, 12 are soft skills, and they're exactly the ones our courses are designed to develop. Adaptability, cognitive flexibility, communication, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and soft skills themselves we've already addressed, which leaves learn to love, learn to love, learn to learn. The ultimate capability enables employees to thrive by developing the capacity to adapt quickly, acquire new knowledge, and apply it effectively in dynamic environments. Inquisitiveness rooted in critical thinking and a spirit of lifelong learning gives organizations the edge they need to adapt and succeed in times of change. Resilience matters more than ever. With mental health challenges on the rise, organizations are recognizing the need to help people build resilience so they can stay strong, adapt, and thrive through change. And a clear theme keeps coming through: change. It's no wonder that adapting to change is now seen as an essential skill for success. Interpersonal skills matter, whether it's team building or clear written communication. Companies that invest in soft skills help their people work smarter, collaborate better, and deliver stronger results. And finally, grit, learning agility, and good judgment. Grit to have the perseverance and passion to navigate through challenges, learning agility to keep relearning the right things, and good judgment, which builds decision-making on good reasoning and wisdom. So how adaptable are you? Following on from Talentgy's top 5, we added a new tutorial to our course on work personality. Adaptability. We've got 8 assessments testing your adaptability. So I'll leave that up for a little bit longer. Skillology Perform courses provide transferable, human-centric soft skill applicable across all roles, industries and sectors. It's currently used in over 1,000 organizations in 50 countries. Consisting of 30 interrelated courses, Skillology Perform is specifically designed to focus attention on the key skills that drive efficient work performance, process efficiency and output, vision, values, and engagement. The starting point for all soft skill development begins with learning about self, focusing on efficient work performance. Building on from this strong self-efficiency base, the next stage is about focusing on manager skills, which deals with process efficiency and output. And finally, as a potential leader, vision, values, and engagement are essential skills to acquire. Thank you for listening. Please contact me, Sue Wild, either by email or through LinkedIn with questions. You'll find me on LinkedIn looking a few years younger than I am now and described as Innovative MD. Who came up with that? Thank you for listening.
I can see where that came from. Don't say that. And it doesn't matter if they've done a little bit of work on your screen photo or whatever. You know, it's marvelous. So don't worry about that. So look, thank you for taking a look at a very different angle of skills and training, right? So the personal skills, the human skills. We had a speaker actually this morning and one yesterday that was looking at another set of human skills, and EQ and things like that are really important to get on. And when you look at life skills in general, right, all the technical skills can be taught when somebody arrives at a destination, you know, a job or whatever. But, you know, being a nice lady or being a nice man and actually getting on in life and being a go-getter and entrepreneurship type capability and that visionary type stuff, all of those things, you know, they can be developed, but, you know, you need those to start off with, and you've got to kind of work with it and make it a bit more malleable. So I think, you know, they are things that are really key. And if you look at the top 25 skills that are required and talked about by organisations like World Bank and OECD and others, you know, like ILO, none of them are technical skills. They're all the kind of things that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis that are at the top of that list.
Yes.
And you know, if you're going to go and work for Rolls-Royce, you know, they'll teach you about Rolls-Royce when you arrive, you know, so you don't need to worry about that bit, but you have got to be somebody that's got some get up and go, not get up and gone. And, you know, too often we meet people that are, you know, quite happy to sit in the corner and whinge and moan and all that kind of thing, but it changes nothing, right? Only those kind of skills, the resilience and all of that really changes people's lives and equips them. I think the other thing I would say is if you look at skills that are required for future generations, you know, I think they say that 80% of jobs, 80% of people in school today will do jobs in 20 years that don't yet exist. Well, you know, what on earth gets them there? It's not technical skills, it's all the personal skills and all of that, because you won't stay in one job all the time. You know, we jump around like we're on lily pads. And we hope to get to the other side of the pond, you know, to enjoy a bit of retirement. To do that, we've got to have flexibility and, you know, learn to pick up and put down skills as we go along. So hat off to you, Sue. Really good to have you coming along and showcasing Skillology's remit in this area and looking at the, you know, personal and professional workplace skills, really, and personal skills. I love it. Really important.
Thank you.
Not enough is said about this. And a lot of people do integrate it. So some of the other awarding organisations on the call will talk about how they kind of weave some of that in. And maybe they can do more. Maybe there's an opportunity to work together on these kind of things as well. So great work. So well done.
Thank you, Jonathan.
And talking of an awarding body, we now have one coming up. Mike Potts is coming from NCFE awarding body. And Sue, you've done a marvellous job of stop sharing. And if you just turn off your camera, microphone, that'd be marvellous. So Mike, the floor is yours. You've done this before. I'm not going to tell you anything. Go.
Thanks so much, Jonathan. Really appreciate it, and good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see you all, and from a sunny but cold Newcastle in the northeast of England. But yeah, great to be here for SkillsFest25 and talking about all things awarding and all things NCFE and AIQ, one of our organisations that is part of the NCFE group as well. So I'm Mike Potts. I'm the Senior International and Devolved Nations Manager for NCFE. And just if you haven't heard about us before, here's just a little bit of background to go into. We are the oldest awarding organisation in the UK, 175 years old. We had our 175th birthday party last year in Newcastle, which was fantastic. But I think what that length of time delivering qualifications, developing qualifications within there shows is that we have the heritage, we understand the sector, we understand what's going on, but we also are forward thinking. We are also developing new qualifications to meet the ever-changing skills needs of today. And it's great hearing the speakers so far talking about how they're managing that challenge in a digital world as well. So yeah, really great to hear that as well. So as an awarding organisation, what we do, we develop and write qualifications across a wide range of sector areas. We're a vocational awarding organisation, so what we're doing is delivering qualifications that give practical, vocational, technical skills to the learners to progress them in education or training, to get them into the jobs they want, or progress them in the further education or higher education needs that they have. We're recognised by the Department for Education in the UK, and our qualifications are regulated by Ofqual as well. But today we're going to focus a lot on what we do internationally and what we do globally across NCFE and AIQ. I just want to give a shout out to Learning Curve Group as well. I know Victoria Horrocks is a friend of the Department of Business and Trade and Skills Fest, and she's presented for Learning Curve. We do work with Learning Curve closely on the work we do here as well. So globally, what we've been doing, even though we've been around for 175 years, probably for the last 15 or 16 years, we've been taking those NCFE qualifications and delivering them on a global scale. Great to see now that we're operating in 29 countries. We have 87 active international centres working for us, delivering qualifications and customised qualifications. And we're going to have a look in this presentation at a few case studies focusing on regulatory delivery in country, some customised development and how that works within there, and how you could potentially partner with us to deliver or support your needs within there as well. It was great to hear at the end of the year we're certificating over around 4,000 international learners now as well, so it's really growing. Here's just a little bit of a heat map of where we are at the minute. It's fantastic for me working in the team for nearly a decade now to be able to see the map growing and new areas and new countries popping up on there and populating the map, which is always great to see. Our primary areas of interest are the Gulf, the GCC, and also Southeast Asia, but we are responding and dealing with centres in Europe, parts of India and China now as we grow as well, which is brilliant, and some parts of the States as well, which is always great as well. In terms of the sector specialisms we work in, so we have 5 key sector areas we work in. We've always been a cross-sectoral awarding organisation, but over recent years, what we've tried to do is just drill that down, so we're really adding value in those key areas where we can bring our A game and really deliver those qualifications that are going to benefit learners in the best way. So there are sitting in early years and childcare, educating and training, health and science, social care, and digital. That's where we're really adding that value within those spaces, giving transformational learning experiences in these areas, helping people master the skills that they need to have a successful career and grow in the sectors they're working in as well. As part of the case study, I would like to have a focus on the work we've been doing with our partner organisation and such a fantastic charity and global organisation in Save the Children. What we've done with Save the Children is work to develop a customised qualification or suite of qualifications which demonstrates a competency approach to qualifications and training. Basically, what we're doing is we're taking the framework that they deliver, almost their talent management programme that they deliver to the staff over 100 countries that they work in. And over the past 8 years, we've developed a customized accreditation that ensures their staff can be equipped with the knowledge and skills required to carry out all of the important work they do in social work, in climate change awareness, in all that fantastic work they do across. We've given them a framework to certificate their learners, to give them that credibility, that qualification, that currency to say, we know what you do, we know your value, we know where you can go in this organization as well, which is brilliant. We've delivered this with Save the Children in 116 countries, which is amazing for our global reach. It's been developed based on our principles and core values, and it's really helping those practitioners in those challenging environments get the recognition they need for the skills they have. Not only is it that recognition for what they're doing in the organization they're in, but it's a transferable certificate. So they can take that certificate once they have it. That's on their CV. They can show that to future employers. They can show that to people in their organization to say, look, I'm ready for the next step. I have these skills and competencies to move through. So that's just one of the ways that we can partner with you or work with your organization to really add value to what you have there. We had Steve Miller, who's the Global Child Protection Director, saying he's really inspired by the work we're doing. And I think, yeah, for me, working in this area, this has been one of the most rewarding projects we've worked on, because you can really see the benefit it's having globally, but also showcasing what we can do with the power of developing great quality customized qualifications to let people progress in their career as well. Now I just wanted to focus a little bit of a change. That was focusing on what we can do in a customized area, developing specific programs for your bespoke training programs or learning development needs or talent management needs across that. What I want to focus on now is the work we do in country, where we work with ministries, we work with government, or we work with regulators to get qualifications approved to really upskill and meet the skills needs and skills gap in specific regions or specific countries. And for this, I wanted to focus on the work we've been doing with NIC, the National Institute of Childhood in Oman, back from 2023. This was the first centre we had approved in Oman, and it was a milestone for the cash qualifications for the region, because we got recognition by the Ministry of Social Development to embed these qualifications into Oman's National Workforce Development Strategy. So we took our programs that we knew were the gold standard within that early years education, we work with that Ministry of Social Development and fully embedded it in there to make sure we could help them meet their vision for 2040 around education, workforce participation and social development to get those learners where they need. We've seen around 90 learners enrolled on the programs across level 2 to level 5, and we've been fantastic. We've just loved seeing the impact it's had on raising the standards of nurseries there, raising the standards of early years education in the region, and we're continuing to grow that in Oman now. We're continuing to see growth within the ministry, within early years spaces, within special educational needs, and hopefully soon within the raising of awareness of autism and how we can support those young learners with autism in that space. So again, anyone that's interested in working with us in your region about ministerial approval, regulation, or aligning qualifications to something you're doing, we love to have a chat about that, because it's something we're passionate about doing now. It's all about long-term partnerships for us. It's all about creating those partnerships and creating that collaboration with the people we have to really develop those partnerships that are going to add value, be here to stay, and really drive that social skills development and need that is there. So 15 years we've been delivering, as I mentioned, 15 years delivering in the UAE. What that's allowed us to do is develop that global recognition. Not only in Oman is that case study just brought to your attention, but we're recognized by the KHDA in Dubai, by ADEC in Abu Dhabi. We have 5 qualifications aligned to the Bahraini qualifications framework now for delivery. And we're working now in Saudi Arabia to have approval of our level 3 and level 5 qualifications, and funding hopefully available soon by the HRDF and KSA for the delivery there as well. This is all about the work we do with our partners, their investment in employers, their investment in their nurseries, their schools and training providers. And what we're doing is giving them the scaffolding and those building blocks of skills within there to get their learners where they need to within there as well. We're really focused on sustainability. What we've done now is we've developed within our qualifications, we've embedded elements of sustainability and how to work in an environmentally conscious and sustainable way throughout all of our different sector areas. There's units or there's embedded learning within there to make sure that's prevalent, which helps everyone attain their goals towards 2030 and 2040 and work towards those UN sustainability goals that we know is so important to everyone, as should be. We believe that collaboration, movements need collaborators, and in order to achieve the success that we need to and the growth we want to, we have to collaborate. We know that delivers quality, innovation and continuity for those learners and educators. So we'd love to connect and talk to you about what that looks like. As would our other awarding organisation, part of the NCFE group now, Active IQ. Now, Active IQ work with over 33 international providers, and Active IQ deliver qualifications within gym, personal training, fitness, well-being, across those as well. And we've developed actually 4 specific international programs of study, which is specifically designed for overseas delivery there. And that's seen such a great impact, because we've tailored it to the needs of the regions and being able to really hit that impact where we have seen the growth that we've mentioned on the slide there, which is brilliant to see. I went out to Saudi Arabia with AIQ back in February to meet with a lot of their centres and to meet with a lot of the groups there just to see how that works. And it was just amazing to see that the courses with the e-learning, the manuals and everything assigned really made that work. We've translated some of those qualifications within those areas into Arabic for delivery, and we've recognised them with some of the reps, IC reps and other relevant frameworks there to really have that impact. So it's brilliant seeing how the 2 brands together in NCFE and AIQ are having that impact globally, and how we can bring those together to meet those different needs. Over the next few years, what we're looking to do with the IQ and NCFE is expand our international provision into those new areas, looking at those specific management and specialisms in there to help grow that skills base within health and fitness, but also from NCFE across all those other 5 areas that we mentioned. So please get in touch if you're interested in any of these regulated qualifications, all those customized developments, because we'd love to talk. The group actually, AIQ, if you're in the Middle East or you're in Dubai around this time, the Active IQ team will be in Dubai at Dubai Active from the 20th to the 26th of October. We'd love to meet you to talk, so please get in touch if you would. NCFE, we're going to be out at the GUESS event in November. I believe it's from around the 10th to the 15th. We're in region, so we'd love to talk as well. So please just let us know if you're there. Just a quick few last slides from me, just a little bit of why you might want to work with us and why we might want to partner. I think first and foremost, we develop qualifications and we develop these frameworks for professionals, by professionals. We use industry experts to develop this, so they're valid and fit for purpose. We make sure they've got that global reach, that they're tutor and assessor friendly, that they have a wide range of assessment methods to meet the different learning needs out there, and we make sure you've got a greatly relevant and experienced EQA that can support all your needs within there as well. We are looking for partners, as I've mentioned. We want to drive and build skills together for the future. We are looking particularly at the minute for new partners in Southeast Asia and the GCC in the Gulf region. Anything across those areas, as I mentioned, whether it's wellness, fitness, early years, healthcare, education, social care, we're really interested in working with you on that. We want to take those UK standards, build those bilingual resources, create those flexible delivery models to really meet those needs at a government level, at a college level, at a university level, or your training provider level. We just want to work with you to spread that word of that regulated qualification and how we can support the skills gaps there. Just want to say thanks again. Always love attending Skills Fest. It's always great to see the different organisations here as well. My name's Mike Potts again. I'll drop it in the chat, but that's my email and my number, and that's a link to my LinkedIn page as well. Yeah, and I absolutely agree with Sue. My picture on there will look a few years. I'll look a few years younger, but I can assure you it is me. So thanks very much.
I know where that picture was taken, and I know who took it.
You took that photo, I think.
Yes.
I believe.
So that was taken at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, 2 or 3 years ago now. Feels like forever ago, but yeah.
Absolutely, yes, it was. Yeah, it was a panel event, which was great, talking about skills and careers, which was good.
Yeah, and you know what, Mike? It just shows the distance that the organisation has travelled in that time as well. You know, you've expanded your markets, expanded the range that you offer as well on a global stage, and that's, you know, fantastic, and all supported and helped by DBT in the process as well, which is even better.
Absolutely, no, it's been great. I think the support we've had and the links we've had from you have been, you know, invaluable. So yeah, we really thank you for that, Jonathan.
Good, and thank you so much for, you know, really kind of broad presentation, because I know you cover lots of areas, and you know, the list of qualifications that you have is huge. So it's really, really good to get under the skin of some of that, and you know, create opportunities for everybody really to lock into that range of qualifications, because literally you do everything from, you know, level 2 all the way up to level 6, 7 qualifications, and they kind of fit in any country. So really, really well done.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Okay, moving across now to another awarding organisation of the same but very different type, Confederation of Tourism and Hospitality, CTH, and my good friend Steve Beckworth. A very good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Jonathan. Great to see you, and good to see you all. Thank you so much.
There you are. You're in. Go.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, I'd like to. It's fantastic to be here. Another Skills Fest. We joined last year. It was really successful. I was so glad that I joined. So a very, very good afternoon. I'd like to really start by just saying what I'd like to talk to you about today, just as a little bit of a plan, is a little bit of a brief overview about awarding bodies in general and how they fit within the education framework of the UK. Because sometimes when we talk to international, this is particularly for international viewers, sometimes, you know, there's a little bit of learning that needs to be done, because our framework is quite different to some other countries. So I'll go over that in the first part. Then a little bit about CTH and about our qualifications, particularly for skills, of course, that's why we're here. And then I'll take you through 3 case studies where we're really hopefully demonstrating some real impact around the world for skills, hospitality and tourism skills. And then we'll hear from some of our students at the end. So yes, let's move through. First thing I would say is, you know, we are Europe's only regulated awarding body dedicated exclusively, as you can read there, to hospitality, culinary and tourism qualifications. We only actually discovered this about 3 weeks ago, so I'm bringing it into absolutely every conversation. So hopefully you don't mind me mentioning that here. So just a few words, as I said, about how an awarding body fits into the framework. Obviously, in the centre here, we've got learners. They're everything to us all, really. And I'll come to this a little bit more. But when we talk about learners, I really believe that, you know, 50% of the world are practical based and very skills focused, obviously, which is you know, the great work we're all doing to do with skills. But 50% are probably a bit more academic and want to study their bachelor's degrees, their master's degrees, you know, and much more academic and wanting to sit for much longer and study academic programs. But there's a lot of people out there who want skills to get into jobs. So we've got a massive audience out there globally. So the learners are the most important. At the top here, you can see awarding bodies, of which Mike from NCFE and ourselves fit very well into. On the right-hand side, we've got employers, who are extremely important, of course, to employ the graduates and engage with as much as possible. We've got professional membership bodies, who really bridge the gap for learners to be able to connect to the industry. And we particularly encourage even students and young learners to join professional membership bodies, because we want them to be connected to the industry before they've even started learning. I think it's important. And then, of course, we've got training providers, and they could be colleges, universities, schools, who will actually deliver the programs. Regulated professional qualifications. All of our programs are regulated by Ofqual. They're known as one of the toughest regulators in the world. And obviously what this does is it sets our quality assurance, and this feeds down to our centres around the world, and it always resonates with students that when they hold their diploma in the hand, when they finish their studies, they can know that this is a qualification that's been regulated heavily and has real high standards in quality assurance. So some key facts about CTH. We have over 40 years experience. We started in 1982. We have around about 150 different teaching centres in over 40 countries of the world. And those teaching centres could be a college, a university, an employer partner, or a training provider. There are over 70,000 qualified CTH graduates globally. So we have a massive alumni around the world. And obviously they can sometimes want professional development, and we encourage that whole lifelong learning concept as well. As I mentioned, we're Ofqual approved, and we have skills and management qualifications that are recognised by employers all over the world. Essentially what we're doing, we're addressing the global skills gaps that we all know have occurred in recent years in our industry, especially in the tourism, hospitality and culinary sectors. These are some of the partners that we have worked with over the years and continue to work with, so that we can ensure that our programs are robust and relevant for working today. They weren't designed 10 years ago. They're absolutely relevant for the industry today. And we're actually going through an exercise at the moment of updating many of our qualifications again for use in 2026, and adding some new ones as well. So just a brief kind of run through of what we actually do for our centres. We develop those globally recognised qualifications that attract learners and employers. We supply high quality teaching resources and the assessments and the academic support to them. And we really strengthen and work with the teaching teams at those centres to deliver teacher training and their ongoing professional development. And what this does is it guarantees those standards through our quality assurance processes, and ultimately it opens doors to careers and university pathways for all of the learners around the world. These are some of our most recent teaching centres, some of which you'll probably know some of those names. So we're really, really happy. As I say, we've got about 150 different centres, but these are perhaps some of the most well-known ones. So on to our skills qualifications. And as I said before, our skills programs are really, really prominent in terms of what is required for the workplace these days. Employers, not all employers are looking for a bachelor's degree and somebody that studied for 3 or 4 years. They're looking for people that have studied practical hands-on qualifications, and they're ready to hit the ground running in that frontline position when they take a role. So these are some of the culinary skills this is all of our culinary skills qualifications actually. And you can see here we start at level 1, which is quite basic cookery, and move on to level 2, and there's quite a wide selection of different level 2 programs, ranging from smaller awards through to a middle-sized certificate, and then obviously onto our diplomas. At level 3, you have certificates, extended and diplomas as well. And then level 4 in culinary arts is, I think, quite unique to CTH actually. It's a very, very high level of culinary arts program. And this is the one that we developed a few years ago with Gordon Ramsay. Professional skills programs, I won't go through all of them, but you can see that there's a really good variation of things like front office, housekeeping, restaurant, bar service, cruise hospitality, and super yachts. Super yacht hospitality is getting very popular out there, probably due to all of the TV programs, fly on the wall documentaries about those. But bar management, bartending, and also professional restaurant front of house service, which is intended to give an enhanced level of service because customer expectations around the world are increasing all the time. So this is quite an interesting program in terms of giving learners that enhanced level to deliver that ultimate guest service. We've also recently introduced what we call our Gold Employers Initiative. And we're very proud of this because what we realise is needed is not just to be giving students a certificate or a diploma. We need to try and introduce those learners to the job vacancies that are available at some of the best employers around the world. So what we've done is we've created this Gold Employers Initiative where we approach the employer. If they have excellent learning and development opportunities, even, for frontline staff going all the way through their staff, we award them with the Gold Employer Award. And this means that their job vacancies are made available to all of the students around the world that are studying CTH programs. So they can apply for those roles directly with links to their website. So it's good for the employer in terms of it's attracting probably a better quality of qualified learners into their frontline roles. It's obviously good for the student because they're being connected to employers that we trust as having good learning and development opportunities. And it's good really just to be connecting awarding body with teaching provider and the employer and connecting the dots, if you like. So we're particularly proud of this, especially as it's a free of charge service to close the skills gap. So moving on, my first case study is we work with Intercontinental Hotel Group, IHG. They came to us because they wanted, their management team wanted different initiatives to help retain staff. And they wanted to benchmark the skills that they learn within the IHG group taught to international hospitality standards. So they came to us, we've been working with them for a few years now. And what we do is we have aligned their global level 3 and level 4 management leadership development program with our qualifications that are on the Ofqual framework. So essentially, there are thousands and thousands of learners working at IHG around the world in various different locations, and they will have studied the internal IHG training program, but got their CTH certificate along with that. And obviously, what that does is it gives it a real vocational element to what they've studied as well. And essentially, IHG have reported back to us that this has really improved the global recognition of their training program. Even though they're IHG, they wanted to be attached to an international awarding body, and the credibility of those training programs. It's improved staff retention rates immeasurably, and it's basically just given a benchmark to the training for over 100,000 staff around the world. Our second case study is a more recent one, and it's in Pakistan, where I focus quite a lot on working with teaching centres and colleges and universities, but we also work with governments and ministries and employers as well, as I mentioned. But this particular one is an organisation called Navtech, who are the government of Pakistan TVET regulator. They wanted to align the training programs that they offer with global hospitality standards. So we've partnered with them in the last few months, and the way that it's going to work, and it's already started, is that annually over up to 1,500 learners in Pakistan will be shortlisted for their for learning our programs at various different centres across Pakistan, and they will be getting our endorsed certification for those NavTech courses that they're undertaking. So it's been a really important collaboration for us, and a good example of how we work with, you know, all different types of organisations, whether they be government, all the way through ministries, funding organisations, really to increase the quality and improve standards for hospitality and tourism all over the world. And the impact of this is the partnership. It really will significantly improve the employability of the Pakistani youth by having this alignment with an international awarding body. The third case study is with a lovely organisation in Guyana called Action Invest. And Guyana, I don't know if you know much about the country, but there's lots and lots happening there because they discovered oil sort of 6 or 7 years ago. And the oil and gas industry is really growing immeasurably. But along with that, the tourism industry is growing as well, ecotourism, all of this sort of thing. But what they don't want to do is import lots of international people to work in the country, in the tourism and hospitality industry. They want it to have an authenticity. So they need to build that sustainable workforce, if you like. So what we've done is we've partnered with Action Invest, and we're recruiting and training local people with those hospitality skills qualifications. Many of them are quite short, they're up to about 3 months. But then through our CTH Gold Employers Programme, which has been awarded to Marriott hotels, we've been able to transfer many of the students into work opportunities at the Marriott hotels in Guyana. And this is expanding as we speak. So it started off fairly small with about 50 learners, but it's now grown up to be closer to 500. So we're really proud of this. And basically the impact of this is that for Guyana, it will increase the standards in those tourism and hospitality sectors, especially when there is so much competition from other Caribbean islands, holidaymakers, business travels to those Caribbean islands. It improves employability for the learners and much better international competitiveness. And of course, for the learners, it means opportunities for their whole career, and perhaps an international career. If they don't wish to stay in Guyana for all of their life, lots of people move around. So yeah, we're really proud of this one as well.
The content of the CTH qualification was really varied. It packed you full of knowledge that's really prepared you for working in a professional kitchen and actually really makes you an asset for that kitchen.
The fact that the CTH qualification is internationally recognised is really important to me, actually, and I do want to take advantage and be able to work abroad. And I know that, having looked into it, certain countries absolutely require you to have a level 4 diploma, for example. So that was a decision I took. Specifically, I think I'd love to spend some time in Australasia, so Australia, New Zealand, potentially as part of an extended tour.
Every part of CTH studies has been very helpful for me at Crown Plaza, Auckland. One of the most important as a leader is human resource management, which I use every day.
When I researched about CTH, I've seen that their qualification works internationally, and I'm someone that really wants to travel around the world as well, so I thought I can get the qualification, travel around the world and work at the same time and gain more experience.
We live and work in a globalized industry, and it is certainly very helpful to have a certification which is known amongst all our hotels throughout the world.
When I graduate, I would like to become a hotel manager, and what I specifically like about this course is the subjects that we learn, such as finance, customer service and travel geography, which are key subjects for someone who wants to do a management role.
The partnership between IHG and CTH made this program very special and beneficial for our career.
I found it actually really easy to get a job at a restaurant in London as a trained chef. Particularly when I walked into Ferrer, I knew that that was somewhere that I wanted to work.
If you want to work in the hospitality industry, get your CTH now.
Get your CTH.
Thank you very much for watching that. I hope I haven't gone over time. I would love to hear from any stakeholders, basically any colleges, universities, organisations, training providers, but also government organisations and employers and anybody else on the call, so that we can work collaboratively really to improve the standards of hospitality and tourism qualifications around the world. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much indeed. I think you're expanding quite well into China at the moment still, is that correct?
Yes, we are. Yes, we've had some really good meetings and they felt warm. You know, when you feel as though something's definitely going to happen. So we've had a couple of delegations over and they're looking at our culinary qualifications and some of our shorter skills programs for delivery, mainly around the Shanghai area. So really good news for us.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. As Jonathan said, my name is Munir Mamujee and I'm the Director of M2R Education based in West Yorkshire in the UK. I'm going to talk to you about AI and in particular how our extremely innovative and easy to use AI powered assessment platform can be used in your organisations by highlighting various use cases. You're going to meet some of my AI team who would be administering these oral assessments. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to show all my contact details again, plus a QR code, which will take you to a video which shows the platform in action. If anybody would like a demo or a trial, just get hold of me. I'll stick my details into the chat and they'll be there at the end as well. So right, let's crack on. So first of all, who are we? So M2R Education was founded in 2001 and provides a range of innovative and exciting teaching and learning solutions to the international skills sector. Having been recognised at the highest levels for our work, we are proud to support organisations in over 50 countries to date. Typical clients include further education colleges, technical and vocational training centres, English language training centres, commercial organisations around the world, and international schools. Now, this individual here is part of our AI team that administers the assessments. And no, he's not real, but that doesn't matter. If you scan the QR code, you will be taken to a video where you can see our avatar and the AI platform in action. So please scan it and go and take a look for yourself. Now, if you've never come across or used AI when delivering skills-based assessments, you can be forgiven if you are wondering what they are and what value they have. This user-friendly platform allows you to create any type of skills-based assessment that you want without the need for an interviewer, saving you time and money. Educational institutions and businesses can operate more efficiently with consistent, non-biased evaluations, enhancing the quality of education and recruitment. From streamlining recruitment efforts and managing language assessments to ensuring health and safety compliance and providing a secure outlet for employee feedback, this platform offers a fully customizable solution that is ready in minutes. And I know that because we use it. So through the use of oral assessments, this platform can be used across your organisation with multiple use cases. Post-assessment, the assessor will receive immediate, non-biased feedback in the form of an interactive report like the ones here that you can see behind the avatar, allowing for efficient delivery of feedback. The platform also allows for multilingual testing, as you can see there, to ensure an even wider scope of skills assessment. So, why oral assessments? Well, they rely on the individual being able to explain what they have learnt or what they know, thereby cultivating stronger communication skills, essential for academic presentations, job interviews, and professional settings. Through interactions with a virtual interviewer, it facilitates the development of genuine communication skills. Oral assessments also allow you to probe students' reasoning, giving a fuller understanding of how they think and how they make connections, not just what they know. They also reduce opportunities for cheating. Now, if you're using these assessments for customer feedback or recruitment interviews, you will also be able to assess how genuine the person is and also get a feel for their personality, because they will be recorded using audio and video. So now I'm going to show you some examples of how the platform can be used. The first one being English language-based assessments. Improving English language conversation skills still remains one of the most significant challenges in education and also global business. Many schools, colleges, training centres face issues such as the lack of teachers with practical conversational skills, or simply the ability or the time to allocate sufficient resource to assess students. With its unique AI, this platform accurately assesses student skills and provides swift feedback, elevating the quality of English education. The AI accurately forecasts test takers' scores on well-known exams and rubrics such as the CEFR, TOEIC, TOEFL, IELTS, Pearson test examinations, the list goes on. Students and employees will be assessed against pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, and fluency, giving you a thorough evaluation of their language competency and a clear pathway to how they can improve. Evaluation on pronunciation, fluency, and task achievement is taken from your test questions that you can create yourself. Fluency is also assessed based on the number of words per minute and also pauses. This helps to build towards smooth conversation skills. AI voice analysis of pronunciation is also carried out, and test takers can replay their own audio test to help them improve. So here you see how an assessment is created and also what a report looks like. Now, apart from assessing English language skills, the platform's multifunctional ability also means it can be used to assess against any technical or vocational skill. Here is an example of how it's being used to assess health and safety compliance. The assessor simply enters the relevant questions, instructs the AI on what is a typical answer, and then the learner's response is marked. The AI is not looking for an exact match, so the learner can answer in their own words and still score highly. As the learner reports are securely stored, your organisation will be able to refer to the test results at any time, ensuring a compliant workforce at all times. You can also use the platform to assess skills when hiring. Your HR managers can tailor interview questions to assess specific skills and competencies required for the role. The system analyses candidate responses, considering key factors like content, delivery and response time. How much is the person actually thinking about what they say? All interview data, including responses and scores, are securely stored for future reference and analysis. The platform also allows you to simultaneously assess the language competency of the candidate as well as their technical knowledge. In a global business environment, assessing English skills is necessary for hiring talent and evaluating employee competency. Traditional assessment methods are time-consuming, costly, and potentially biased. Our platform addresses these challenges by offering quick and unbiased evaluations, facilitating efficient talent acquisition and skill enhancement. This example shows how the platform can be used for academic assessments. You can create assessments for every single subject, every age group, every curriculum, every exam board. You create the questions, you add the mark scheme, and you administer the test. To eliminate the danger of cheating, the AI can be set to deliver randomized questions from a bank of up to 200, meaning the chances of 2 students receiving the same test are minimal. This also means you can continuously assess students throughout the year and monitor progress and identify gaps. The avatar, very, very crucially, will not be able to answer any questions posed by the student or applicant. Therefore, is absolutely no danger of any inappropriate responses. You, as an organisation, are in complete control at all times. Now, creating a test is extremely straightforward. You simply choose a test from our extensive library that fits your needs, or you can create your own in a matter of minutes, and we'll show you how to do it. You can create original custom questions tailored to the level of the test taker and or your own curriculum. You can assess the candidate's language skills as well as specific subject matter knowledge simultaneously if you desire. And delivering tests is extremely simple. You can either directly invite them by entering their email address or obtain a specific URL for each test and send it to them via email or however which way you want to do it. Your students or applicants then take the test anytime, anywhere. Jonathan, that's my martini moment. The only limit is the use of this platform is your imagination. We have so far created tests for everything from academic assessments, vocational assessments, customer service, customer feedback, safeguarding and welfare. We've had insurance company contact us for claims handling. You name it, it can do it. So, before I close, just to summarise, no physical interviews are needed as your virtual interviewer will act on your behalf, improving organisational efficiency. You can make as many tests as you want across as many different functions and job skills, etc., as you want. You will have full test customization in your own workspace and the ability to set individual question context for higher level scoring, for example, compliance or recruitment interviews. No technical knowledge is required at all, and we're there to help you all the way too. These tests are fully GDPR compliant and can be taken anytime, anywhere, martini number 2, in a relaxed environment. All data is securely stored and you can decide who has access via a very, very simple user interface. And finally, this platform means no more subjective or biased assessments, allowing for reliable and fair evaluation standards at all times. So that's our AI-powered assessment platform. On the screen, you can now see examples of who we've worked with, from colleges in Saudi Arabia, training academies in Kurdistan, academic tutoring providers in India. No matter where you are in the world, if you want to demo these assessments or discuss any of our other services, which I'm going to quickly go through, get in touch. So apart from AI, what else do we do? Recruitment, teachers and trainers, all academic and vocational subjects. We provide digital English language courses. So far, 2 million people around the world are taking advantage of these. General English, academic English, vocational English. Face-to-face tutoring, online tutoring, AI-powered tutoring for all students of all ages. We offer TEFL courses and CELTA courses for those who want to teach English. And finally, we send students out to Southeast Asia on teaching internships as well. If you want to know more, please visit our website or contact me with these contact details. So thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen. Connect with me by the myriad of ways that we can all communicate nowadays. I'm happy to demo. I'm happy to do anything. Jonathan's on the screen, which tells me I need to stop talking. So there you go. Job done.
He knows me too well. Actually, Munir, you're always fine, right? When I appear on screen, it's when I start flashing the orange box you're in trouble. So well done. You know, English language training generally has come on a long way, and certainly, you know, M2R's offer is really very different, particularly coupled with things like the recruitment and all of that you do as well. So real technology-based kind of company now more than language, which is fantastic to see this evolution over time, right? And that's based on, you know, technological changes, but it's also based on all the variety of clients that you're so dealing with on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. So really fantastic, really great to have you here as always, kind of setting that out for us. Thank you so much. And now we move on to the last speaker for today, at least. We have Mark Child, who is from VTCT Skills. Mark, very good afternoon, and thanks for coming along. It's great to have you here.
No problem at all, Jonathan. Thanks for inviting me.
Pleasure. We can see your presentation and we can hear you and see you.
Okay, so thanks very much, Jonathan, for the introduction. Hello, everyone, wherever you are in the world, and thanks for being along with me today. It's great to be here with you and just have the opportunity to present to such a diverse and international audience. I'm really excited to share with you how VTCT Skills is actually helping to shape the future of vocational and technical education and learning, especially as we begin to embrace the opportunities that AI and digital technology brings to assessment and awarding here in the UK and internationally. And obviously my colleagues today have already alluded to a lot of the AI products that they're actually offering. So for those of you that don't actually know anything about VTCT, we do actually offer a range of qualifications. We are a leading awarding organisation, and we have a comprehensive range of qualifications and services which cover around about 17 sectors, including hairdressing, beauty, logistics and early years. And we have the great privilege of working hand in hand with our employer base, training providers and strategic partners, really to ensure our qualifications are tailored to meet a wide range of industry needs. And we're exceptionally proud of the fact that we are actually recognised globally. We currently have a network of around about 3,000 approved training locations, and we support the career goals of around about 120,000 learners per year in order for them to gain the professional skills that enable them to move into industry. And at VTCT, we are all about trying to simplify complexity, which means working closely with our global customers and partners, really to identify the very best possible routes for learners, whether that be through teaching or assessment. We also have our range of iTech qualifications, which are now recognised in over 53 countries. And we currently have a presence in regions such as Europe, Asia, Africa and the Middle East, and we have qualifications available in health, beauty, sport and complementary therapies. And these qualifications really provide amazing international careers for our learners. Our own tech qualifications really are trusted by some of the top hotels, spas and cruise ships globally. And in some countries, our qualifications are used as a licence to practice, especially in industries such as aesthetics, where health and safety is paramount. So in terms of working with us, I just want to focus on the main reason why I'm here today. And I just want to walk you through the 6 key areas that define our approach. So that being expertise and innovation, comprehensive support, global reach with local impact, commitment to quality and collective partnership. Now, these aren't just buzzwords that I've used for today's presentation. They're what we actually use here at VTCT, and they are actually the foundation of how we work and how we support learners, educators and employers every day, both at home here in the UK and internationally. So in terms of expertise and innovation, at VTCT, we've been in vocational education now for just over 60 years, and we know the sector inside and out. We're immensely proud of that, but we also know that standing still really isn't an option for any of us as awarding organisations, and we're actually aware that we have to support all of our customers to find new ways of working and new ways of supporting learners, not only through the learning experience and the learner journey, but also by providing new creative ways of assessing qualifications. On a personal level, I've actually worked in assessment and qualification development for over 30 years now. And I'm a real advocate for thinking outside the box and looking at assessment methodology that really veers away from traditional assessment types and allows for AI and other technologies really to change the way learning outcomes in qualifications are evidenced by both the tutor and learner. And in addition to this, it's vital that we now think about how we can adapt assessments to meet the needs of learners with additional learning needs, especially now that more and more people are being diagnosed with ADHD and actually have obviously English as a second language. So it's important that we actually look at the whole of the way that we actually assess qualifications moving forward. That's why really from our point of view at VTCT, innovation is really at the heart of everything we do. And certainly we are investing heavily in AI and digital technologies at the moment, not just because they're exciting and in vogue at the moment, but because they generally improve that learner experience. And we're certainly using AI to personalise the learner journeys, really to make assessments smarter and more responsive, and really to help educators focus on what they do best, which obviously is teaching, and get learners ready to enter the industry of their choice. We're also exploring things like virtual reality and digital simulation tools that allows learners to practice skills in safe and realistic environments. And we're using data really to help employers and educators forecast future skills needs, so that we're not just reacting to change and waiting for it to come along. We're trying to anticipate any changes that may be coming down the line, and hopefully we'll be ready to react to it and ideally have a solution ready and waiting. In terms of our supportive centres, we already know that innovation is really powerful, but it only works if people are fully supported. And that's why we're looking to build a comprehensive support system around our digital tools. Now, for educators, we offer currently smart planning tools and professional development that really helps them integrate technology into everyday practice. And for learners, we provide assessment platforms that really provide personalised feedback, progress tracking, and even career insights, which are all powered by technology of some sort. In terms of our employers, at the moment we offer tailored consultancy to make sure their in-house training programs align with our business goals and industry standards, and to making sure that everyone, no matter of their role, feels really equipped and empowered. And we're really able to provide bespoke support programs and qualifications, which really gives employers the recognition and validation for their training programs. We also work with a lot of our employers and partners to work with their delivery teams to make the learner journey even more engaging and help them align their delivery program to meet current industry need and demand. We're also acutely aware of VTCT that we have to have a responsibility to maintain our regulatory compliance with our regulators, as already been alluded to by my colleagues from other awarding organisations today, such as Ofqual in England and certainly KHDA across the Emirates. And it's really important that we demonstrate our ability to maintain our rigour and quality assurance around the assessment and awarding of our qualifications. We currently have an international team of experts who undertake regular quality assurance visits to our approved centres to make sure that the highest possible standards are maintained internationally. And also in the UK, we have a team of EQA staff that go out and visits our centres on a regular basis. And this will continue, even though the education landscape and awarding of qualifications is really changing at the moment. VTCT is also very proud of our global reach, and we're currently working across more than 40 countries. And probably one of the greatest pieces of feedback that we get from our international customers and partners on a regular basis is that we never take a one-size-fits-all approach. We know that what might work in one region might not work in another, and from our point of view, that's totally okay. We do actually pride ourselves on being agile, and we're always open to work with customers to adapt our services and support them to meet their local needs. And just for example, it could be a digital program in Kenya or an AI integrated apprenticeship in the UK. We're always looking to work closely with local partners to make sure that any solution that we offer is actually relevant and above all achieves the impact that the employer or partner requires. And because of our global network, we're able to share best practice and certainly look at new emerging techniques in such a way as AI and technology is coming to the fore. And we've learned certainly from our partners over the past few months in terms of building stronger, more resilient communities. So, for example, in Saudi Arabia, we're currently working in collaboration with the VTCT group of colleges to explore the possibility of delivering qualifications that support the country's Vision 2030 workforce development goals. And also we're looking at further opportunities for qualification delivery in India. We're also involved in Europass, which is a service shared across Europe and really is designed to help learners highlight their qualifications in an effective way to prospective employers and higher and further education providers across Europe. And at VTCT Skills, we are really proud that we were among the first UK awarding organisations to offer Europass. In terms of our commitment to quality, as I've already mentioned, we have a duty to our qualification regulators, and quality is really paramount to all of us at VTCT. And although we're exploring new ways of assessing, every qualification, every learning programme, every learning experience we hold to the very highest standards, and that will remain the case, even though, you know, we're moving forwards in a new way of working in terms of qualification, development and assessment. We're also using AI to support quality assurance in real time. That means we can monitor learner progress, ensure assessments are fair and consistent, and gives us the opportunity really to spot any issues before they become problems. So in addition to maintaining our regulatory compliance, we're also working closely with our regulators and industry bodies to make sure our qualifications stay current and credible. And for us as a leading organisation, it's all about trust, and we really do take that responsibility very seriously. So for instance, in Singapore, we are partnering with local academies to ensure that their training meets the highest international standards, and our course endorsements add credibility and quality assurance. And certainly our international ESOL qualifications offer internationally recognised qualifications, which again are regulated by Ofqual in the UK and accepted by government bodies in multiple countries. One of the things I guess I love most about VTCT Skills is the way that we collaborate with our partners, both in the UK and internationally. We don't just deliver qualifications, we're all about building partnerships. And currently we're working with employers to co-design programmes that really meet world needs. We're collaborating with educators globally to develop blended learning models that combine the best of digital and face-to-face teaching. And we've recently teamed up with a number of tech providers to integrate cutting-edge tools into our platforms. And I have to say, these partnerships have been transformational, and they've really helped us stay agile, responsive, and certainly focused on what really matters. And that's helping learners to succeed and be the very best they can be. In terms of our international partners, we are involved in a collective projects with organisations such as World Skills, the British Council, and as I've already mentioned, MPCT group of colleges, sharing best practice and driving innovation where possible. And just to touch on our equity, diversity and inclusion commitment, we did develop the first regulated LGBTQI level 2 qualification in the UK in 2019, and I've been working very closely with my colleague and good friend Jeff Greenidge from the Association of Colleges and Kelly Townsend from West Yorkshire Learning Partnership over the past few years on a project called Pride in Education. And this is a pledge that educational establishments, colleges and training providers can sign up to in order to show their commitment to supporting staff and learners who identify as LGBTQ+I. And we're really keen to work with international partners to develop similar projects. In 2023, following multiple requests from our colleges and training providers, we did a complete review of our hairdressing, barbering and beauty qualifications, really to ensure that all of our assessment requirements and learning outcomes reflected gender neutral language and workplace practice, so that these qualifications fully supported people from the LGBTQI+ community. And I have to say, all of these were very well received by learners who have undertaken the qualifications to date. So obviously, as we look forward to the new way of working in terms of both assessment and qualifications, I still think the future is still full of possibility. Yes, and I'm sure we all agree that there are challenges ahead in terms of how our qualifications might look and be assessed in the future. But from our point of view at VTCT Skills, we also see this as an incredible opportunity. We really want to increase our collaboration with our global customers and partners to share best practice and really combine our expertise so that we can help shape a future where every learner can thrive. And we'd love for you to be part of that journey. So from my point of view, it really doesn't matter whether you're an employer looking to upskill your team, as an educator wanting to innovate your delivery, or a policymaker driving change. We're here to collaborate, support and lead. So please get in touch with me. I've dropped my details into the chat, and obviously you'll have my details on the final slide. And please get in touch, and thank you for your time today, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Mark, amazing. Thank you so much indeed. Really good to hear about what you're up to. I didn't realise that VTCT is working in 40 countries, so that's really good, you know, really reaching out around the globe, and that's fantastic. Look, just because of time, I've got a couple of questions, so if I could ask all the speakers to come back on, that would be fantastic. I bet they've all sloped off for their tea. Oh no, they're still there. That's great. Fantastic. We'll keep this as short as possible for you, but a couple of questions. So one is about labour market demands, and all of you are kind of looking at sectors and skills in different sectors in different ways. And Sue, you've got a range of products and services actually that are in sectors, but also generic across sectors. So kind of a foundational stone, if you like. And I wondered about how you look at labour market demand in a particular country, and then how you focus on kind of aiming people and skills and training and qualifications at those demands. So anybody want to start off with a short response to that?
I think for us, if I can answer that to an extent, I think for us it's about collaborating with the TVET organisations and also the ministries in each of the countries as well, because they will have data and they will have their aims about, you know, which roles are most in demand and for which roles there are skills gaps in. You know, our work in the Saudi Arabia trade mission that came on with you was testament to that. Really, they were really focused on those skills gaps that were needed, and so us as awarding bodies were really able to focus very strongly on talking about those particular qualifications that do exactly that, rather than talking about all the other programs that we do. So for me, it's really about liaising with the TVET organisations and the ministries.
Fantastic. Daniel?
Yeah, thanks. I think two things, and this can be common across every sector, every geography. The first is digital skills in a changing world with AI. As I've mentioned before, I think one of the other speakers mentioned how quickly the job market is changing, and jobs that we've never heard of are now appearing as some of the top 10: prompt engineering, cybersecurity increasing, etc. And I think that is going to be a commonality across all geographies. And secondly, and I think as well, most of myself and the other speakers all mentioned those soft skills or durable skills that will be critical. Again, I think they apply to all different sectors and will be increasingly important, as well as we are essentially competing with AI. And what do we bring to the table? And I think those soft skills, critical thinking, communication, leadership, teamwork, etc., are going to be even more pressing.
Brilliant. Now, most of you work with somebody like an institute or an education body or college or university or whatever in an international setting. And I guess the bit that I always worry about is actually who trains the trainers and who trains the teachers, and then how does that roll upstairs to the leadership and governance? Because you know, an institution is only as good as, you know, upstairs. So what are you doing in that space? Because not a lot of people talked about that today in the sessions. But what's happening in kind of skills? So Sue, for example, you're dealing with, you know, these cross-cutting skills, but actually you're teaching that to the teachers so they get it as well. And upstairs in leadership and management, because often they don't get that kind of stuff. They just think, I'm here to teach people how to do engineering, and they forget about all the other stuff that goes with it sometimes, particularly overseas.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right, Jonathan. We actually had a call earlier today with a large company in Saudi Arabia, and they're focusing on their 2030 vision. So we've addressed those needs, and in particular, they're wanting to develop their future managers and leaders. So that is their target themselves. It's still early days with. We've now got to grapple with the technology and translate our courses into Arabic. So that's going to be fun. But what we normally do, we have facilitators globally. So we have one based in Hong Kong, we have another in Dubai, and they've gone through quite a rigorous program so that they can deliver our courses, and we have that consistency, because that's what we don't want to dilute or value what we've got. So we need to be sure that who's delivering our materials are up to the mark. And then there's the opportunity then to train trainers within organizations. But for us, the key thing is you've got to have buy-in from the top in order to make any impact within an organization. So our courses are perfect for a manager who surreptitiously wants to get himself up to speed on some areas that you might have missed out on. It's also brilliant for people who are just starting off in the workplace, but it's for developing managers and leaders as well, and for teams. So you really need to have the buy-in from the top to make it very effective.
Brilliant, thank you. Really comprehensive answer, so that's good. I want to move on actually to, because it's a lovely segue. You talked about impact, and this is always my big thing. Is I have this thing, right, where it doesn't matter how brilliant you are, and Sue, you've got a fantastic offer, and Daniel, you've got a great offer, and Mike, all of you. And I always ask, so what? So what? It's Ofqual regulated. So what? You do loads of it. So what? Right? There's 90 awarding bodies working around the world. So what? So what is this impact? What are you creating that leaves businesses buzzing and governments gasping for more? What is it that you're doing with individuals that wants them to have more of the same, or to carry on with lifelong learning? And for businesses in particular, what's that return on investment? Because if we can make an economic argument around skills and training, bearing in mind, lots of countries don't fund skills, right, seen as second rate and all of that. So how do you kind of engage with the employers? How do you then use the economy part as an argument for investment, not cost?
I think it's a great question. I'll dive in first, and I'll go relatively quickly. But I think a country is only as good as its human capital, and is a huge driver in economic success of a country. And so I think every indication you can see from that is going to be in the direction of skills and development. I think some of the things that when we talk about impact that have been extremely rewarding, and it sounds like a lot of the colleagues on this panel as well share it, is the global nature of the impact that we are having. Without getting political, we're in a very complicated world, and by helping people improve in socioeconomic perspectives and driving up their skill set and getting out of difficult positions and into employment and employability, I think is going to be our best chance of having a more harmonious world. From my own perspective, things like we've run programs for Syrian refugees. We've been running programs again with partnerships in Botswana and Nigeria, and seeing some of these young people going from a difficult labor job market to getting opportunities through our internship program with companies overseas, and ending up in full-time employment with them, and the cost benefits of being employed internationally from a British company, for example, going on to employ a person from overseas can be hugely beneficial for all sides. So I'd like to think we're all having huge impact across this panel, and again, ever more necessary in the complex world that we live in.
I love that. Yeah, great example as well. And you really I'm going to give you another phrase here. So you're taking people from no chance to every chance, and I think that's a really kind of admirable thing to do. Munir, it's just really about tech, advancements in tech, and coupling that with language. How are you seeing that play out?
I think since COVID, I think there's been a bit more of an acceptance about using digital technology, especially in the workplace and also in learning. And now that AI is at the forefront of everything that's discussed, and people are getting more comfortable with using AI. It's not quite as scary as it was. I'm a big believer that AI has its place as long as it's used properly and used carefully, which is why when we build and I look at our offer and the products and services that we've got, I look and say, right, okay, is it actually going to add any value? Because if it's not going to add any value, then we're not going to use it. If it's going to add value, what value? And how is it going to impact an individual? Is it actually going to get any benefit to them? So for us, improving English language skills, improving employability, improving oral communication, giving them better chances in life, for me, that's where technology sits. And it goes back to what Daniel was saying as well about using technology for areas that maybe, unfortunately, for no fault of their own, they can't operate in a traditional way. So, for example, in Ukraine, our digital English language courses are being used by Mariupol University to offer online learning to citizens in Ukraine who unfortunately cannot attend day-to-day language lessons, etc., etc., etc. And that's where technology works, and that we only work with organisations that have got the same values, and I personally think it can make a difference.
Good. So you're reaching hard to reach groups using technology to do it, which is fantastic. A quick question for the awarding bodies, but actually, again, it's a question that applies to all of you. It's about kind of stackable units, modules, bite-sized pieces. In Indonesia, a week or so back, there was a lady that did some research and she presented the results. She was talking about the kind of the COVID kids, because they went through a particularly tough time, kids are around that kind of era, and they found it difficult since. And they've noticed a really big spike in the number of young people from that era that are suffering mental health problems. So in the UK, for example, the number of young people that are no longer in educational employment or training went up 200,000 just during COVID, and it stayed at that level. And there is this thing that young people want to learn in a very different way, using clips on YouTube when they want to know something. It's almost like the car industry, just in time type approach. So they learn what they want to learn and they earn the money they want to earn to have an experience, and they go off and have an experience and they come back and earn a bit more, and kind of like that. So, whereas, all of us are probably kind of long-term career people in what we're doing. As your organisations, particularly Mike and Mark, as AOs, because you're the ones that are doing a lot of certification, is that shift in the way that you're having to think about the approach you have to big, heavy qualifications that might take 2 years, and actually what they might need is something that's, 2 days, 2 months, 2 weeks, who can say?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a challenge, and I know kind of people personally, and younger people in my life who have suffered from that, and it is such a challenge to get them back into learning or to engage them with that. I think that there is something to be said about if you're working in early years, for example, and you need a license to practice, that the weight of that qualification has to be taken. You have to be in work, you have to deliver those points. But I think certainly with the tech companies and some we've talked with today, there's absolutely bite-sized modules, videos, engaging pieces of learning we can do with the theoretical side of things to really bring them along, to get them where they need to go. And then if from an NCFE point of view, where the practical elements in place, just thinking about all those softer skills and bringing them along in an environment that might support neurodiversity or be very aware of the needs of a new generation in place. And I think it goes back to what you were saying before, Jonathan. It's about educating those at the top and those in those environments to understand those changing needs there. But it is a balance, because in some instances, in some areas, you are going to have to take those qualifications that are larger. There will be that need. So how do we bring those learners on to get them into those situations where they feel comfortable and they can thrive in those environments? And it's absolutely a challenge, and I don't think we've all nailed it just yet.
And Mark, just slightly different question, Mark, because you're still on mute, by the way. Just a slightly twisted version of the same question, Mark, which is really around the bite-sized pieces and all of that still, so the bite-sized training, but actually because you're doing more online training, how are governments reacting to that? Because I know there are some governments, like Malaysia, for example, doesn't like all online. They like to see more in person. You know, how are you coping with that as well? So you're kind of getting hit from both sides at the same time, right? So, you know, suddenly big qualifications are not liked, and we want smaller pieces, and we don't want it all online. But that's kind of the way we're going, right? Everything's about online.
Yeah, and that, you know, just picking up on the points just made earlier, I think it's about changing mindsets and hearts. And, you know, we can do online delivery, but I think in terms of those learners that have come through COVID days, I think it's really about taking those learners back to basics and looking at, you know, things like behaviours and attributes that they need for employment, and really certainly drilling down to the issues around mental health, and, you know, preparing to come onto a qualification or an apprenticeship programme at a later stage. I think it's about doing the proprietary work and making sure that learners are actually ready. So when they do come into a training provider or a college, they've all got that knowledge, understanding and support that they need to be able to move forwards, because there's nothing worse, certainly in terms of training providers and colleges, having to take on a learner and then suddenly realise a few weeks down the line that they're not really ready to come onto a course or a qualification or an apprenticeship programme, and they drop off. So not only does it have a negative impact on that learner, but also in turn has a negative impact on the QAR data returns for the colleges and training providers. And I think in terms of, you know, working with employers, whether that be in the UK or internationally, I think it's really making sure that they fully understand that learner journey. And some learners aren't automatically ready to go on to a piece of learning, formal learning, that's going to be certificated. It's about making sure that we give them all of that nurture and support that they need to get them ready to come into a training provider or into a college or a training environment, to make sure that they've got that, you know, the mental health support that they need, the behaviours and attributes, to make sure that that learner journey is going to be the very best it can be from day one.
And I think if I thanks for that, Mark. And if I think about what you do, Sue, and what you're doing, Daniel, you know, you're kind of in the same space, because Sue, you're trying to give them, you know, confidence, skills and all the other resilience that they need to get on in life. And Daniel, you're trying to place them so they get that experience. And there are challenges in that tension as well, right? All associated with the same issues. Okay, look, I want to close the session if I can, just so that we finish on time. It's been a really good session. Thank you so much indeed. I'm going to go around like creeping death on a clock on my system. So, Mark, you are first. What do you want to say to people to get them to engage with you?
I just think from our point of view of VTCT, as I've said in my presentation, we are open to collaboration. We are looking at thinking outside the box in terms of how qualifications are developed and assessed moving forwards. And certainly from our point of view, you know, we're very much open to collaboration, working with partners in the UK and globally to make sure that we make the very best journey possible for the learners that undertake our qualifications moving forwards.
Mark, thanks so much indeed for coming along today. Sue?
What do I want to say? We're very flexible in our approach. We are happy to support individuals. We're happy to support teams. We're happy to support huge organisations. We're open to partnerships. We are also investigating agentic tutor. So we're not standing still, and we're just here ready to support people developing those crucial skills to take them further in their career and develop them personally as well, because you need to have those skills in order to thrive in the workplace and also in your own personal life as well.
Thank you very much indeed. Daniel?
Thank you, Jonathan. I think a primary driver for people pursuing education or further education is employability, and our key focus is on employability. And as we've all touched upon, a degree may not be enough in today's age to create the right hiring signals to a future employer. And so we offer a very proactive, direct, immersive and hands-on experience of working with a company to boost employability. We do it on a global basis, and we do it in partnership with others. So thanks for having me, and happy to explore employability further with anybody.
Brilliant. Thank you. Mike, you're next. And that leaves Munir with the last word, because he's going to love that. Mike.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. I think from an NCFE point of view, we're bringing that 175 years worth of heritage. We're bringing that global standard, and we're working in partnership with governments now and regulators to align those UK recognised qualifications with international and national priorities. We're bringing trusted expertise in early years health and social care, sport, well-being, while supporting skills development and workforce capacity building. But we're collaborating on policy goals, we're upskilling educators, helping countries raise standards, improve learning outcomes, and delivering long-term social and economic impact. So we'd love to partner with people who have the same mission.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Mike, for coming along today. And finally, Munir. You're never finally, are you?
I'm not really going to break out into song before everyone starts panicking. For us, I genuinely believe that given our range of products and services, we can work with just about every single skills-based organisation on this planet, whether it's recruitment, whether it's assessment, whether it's English language courses, whether it's tutoring, whether it's upskilling. We've got a fantastic range of products and services. Get in touch, let's have a chat, and let's see what we can do.
Brilliant. Thank you. Couldn't ask for a better end.
Thank you
Daniel, Sue, and Mike, and Steve, who's had to do a runner, Munir and Mark, thank you so much indeed for coming along today and giving up your time and your expertise. Hopefully it went quicker than you thought it was going to go, and you found it interesting yourselves, and you've met some new people that you can get in touch with. So that's fantastic. Don't forget, everybody, we're going to post these recordings next week on the UK Skills Partnership website with copies of PDF presentations, plus also any additional materials that any of our speakers will share with us during the course of the next few days. And then you'll be able to get in touch with them and revisit the recordings and all of that. We do have a whole day of it tomorrow. So 8 o'clock tomorrow, 12 noon tomorrow, and 4 o'clock tomorrow, and another one at 8 o'clock on Friday morning. So we've got lots of speakers to come, lots of different subjects to talk about, lots of different sectors that we're going to be looking at, and no doubt a whole load more country case studies, which is just fantastic. What I love about these sessions, it really does demonstrate the breadth and depth of UK expertise in skills and training. And, you know, I work across 78 countries, and all the time people say to me, oh, you know, our friends in Germany have a really good system and all of that. Yeah, but, you know, it's not like the UK system that's flexible, that can touch every country, that can be molded to any circumstance in any sector. So, you know, I am a massive believer that skills are a first choice, every time choice, never a second choice, bad choice. Stay with us on that journey, and we look forward to having you on a future Skills Fest session. Take care, everybody, and have a good evening, morning, wherever you are in the world.
Jonathan, well done on keeping your energy up for various sessions. We were just 2 hours. You've been doing days. This is a fantastic job.
Yeah, I get my energy because I love my subject. I really feel like I'm doing my hobby as a living. So that really, and you know, the colleagues that know me will tell you that as well. It never stops, this energy on skills and training. I really do think it's the bee's knees. So that's where I get it from.
It shows. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody.
Brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Everyone. Bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.